How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Radical Computer Solutions YouTube channel. My name is Tom, and welcome to Gamedec. I picked this up from Humble Bundle today. Seems like a pretty cool game. It's like a detective noir kind of game, which is something I really like to play. So, yeah. Hang out, relax, and we'll get this started. Hope everyone is having a fantastic day.
It's a strange profession, Gamedec. You're neither a player nor a detective. You know the rules and how people break them. How they leave a digital trail. And there is always a trail. A flaw in the source code. Backdoors used by cheaters. Anonymity skins used to cover up unpopular activities. All can be found. All can be traced. With a lot of skill and a little bit of luck. Sometimes more than a little. Because there are surprises, even for a Gamedec. But in the end, you keep your eyes on the prize. This is my story. What's yours?
We're gonna find out. Rillium. I'm assuming that means the real world. Low City is an unofficial name, as is High and Mid City. It's usually used to describe the layer of the polis, where you start seeing Auro cars flying around and where it gets really dark. The inhabitants of Low City often work strange jobs that usually involve night shifts. They don't care if they work during the day or night, as their circadian rhythm is often completely off. Darkness lingers in Low City. In most districts, the artificial suns and sky windows stopped working a long time ago, and no one wants to repair them. High City, the unofficial name for the highest levels of a... I'm sorry, I was messing around with that. The unofficial name for the highest levels of a polis. High cities feature walking platforms, flying junks, and the densest network of pneumobile routes. It's become customary to believe that high cities end at the level where the highest reaching routes... Oops. Now I can choose what my character's values are. This game is pretty cool. It kind of reminds me of what's that other game? It's another detective game that's very detailed, and I can't think of the name of it. Oh, Disco Elysium. Kind of reminds me of Disco Elysium, but slightly less detailed and way easier, because you don't just, like, as far as I can tell, you don't just, like, randomly die or fail. Gonna start out on normal mode for this playthrough, because True Detective mode seems a little too hardcore for me. Apartment. The communicators of the late 22nd century ensure visual, auditory, thermal, and olfactory contact. This conglomerate of sensual modalities is called sensory connection, or sensing. A computer user connecting to a user of the same device that has access to four sensory representations but does not have to use them. Users often turn off the olfactory and thermal channels. Owners of newer walktels have access to optical, auditory, and limited olfactory channels, just like Apparently, I skipped that. Sorry. I don't remember why I had become a Gamedec. To choose a dialogue option, left-click its text or click the corresponding number on your keyboard. Anyway, at some point, I must have decided that it was a reasonable way of making money. Then I just got used to it. I solved numerous cases, so people started to believe I was credible. I didn't realize I was going through this so quickly. Sorry, guys. Games, besides being my workplace, also became my second home. Did I ever play for fun? Yeah, sometimes I did. I was surrounded by the real world, that is, Realium. I could hear Warsaw City humming outside the window. I lived in Towerstone in Wola. It was the end of the 22nd century, and the people were crazy happy. Kidding. Some were, some weren't. Which group did I belong to? I wasn't sure. It was time to check if there were any new jobs. We get to explore our apartment, which is pretty fun. A lot of cool technology in this version of the future. Window. Warsaw City, my polis. Hope I'm pronouncing that right, polis. Walkways, squares, space, and chasms. That's what modern cities look like. The middle layer, mid-city. Despite dense developments, you could still see the sun and pieces of the sky, as well as the long way down. I felt a connection with the people above and below. I could hear the transit tubes, pneumobiles, the humming ads. It was never quiet. Void stars. Is that like Raid Shadow Legends? Anyway, this is where the rich met poor and light met darkness. A place where you could be pretty much whoever you wanted to be. And where advertising drones peeked through people's windows looking for new victims. And I found the skills and upgrade tree infotainer. That sounds like kind of sounds like a YouTuber or a Twitch streamer to me, influencer, something like that. I'll probably go through all these like job descriptions and the codex stuff in a different video. I had a few things I needed to think over. You can't really contemplate without a drink in your hand. Luckily, the Surfer IND logo had slightly faded already, but the Servbot, as usual, patiently awaited instructions. I'm gonna go with coffee, because that's the responsible choice. Plus, I really like coffee. The dark beverage of the gods. I could choose from the cheap synthetic stuff and ground beans, which obviously cost more. Always go for the good stuff. Don't cheap out. I wasn't going to beat myself up for something I had already paid for. I decided I would drink synthetics when the good stuff was gone. I just decided to think some stuff over and get to work. I think it's telling me I needed more, I needed to choose something in the skill tree here. So basically I can be a medic, like someone who, is good at medical stuff, or this, a glazier, which is basically a techie, or a hacker, if you will. I chose to be the techie kind of person because that is what interests me. When I was a kid, I thought I wanted to be a doctor, but nah, not so much. I decided to think, okay, I once installed a gadget in the window that disrupts the sensors of such invaders. All it took was a short signal. The drone received an error message that made it return to the shop for inspection. Thousands of games and millions of players mean plenty of cases for Gamedec. Hatred, greed, and deviousness are especially common online. Two topics had been especially popular in the media recently: digital love and whether it's better to live online or in Rillium. I took a sip. Game fans say they let them fulfill their dreams and that they don't have to obey the rules of nature, which are a bitch. They could choose gender, looks, go on adventures. Opponents called it escaping and claimed you only get through in Rillium. Or tough in Rillium. Rillium presents real challenges. On the other hand, good money can be made online too, and it's no less complicated than Rillium. Sensory worlds are kingdoms in themselves. There are plenty of affairs, people, and nuances. I wasn't surprised some people called them home. Experiencing things in games is no different than experiencing them in Rillium. It's just a different and more interesting level of reality. Some had been talking about the Pygmalion technology, developed by Blue Whales Interactive. It upgraded AI to the level of the human psyche. Recent gossip: a man named Ken Zhu, a young good-a-bad star, screwed up in the last game, and his Black Angels lost. BWI claimed they could create human beings, obviously for a hell of a price. Such humans are called diginets. A diginet has a synthetic brain, a rendon, but no body. It lives online unless you buy it a mobrium. There were demonstrators at the company's location against this technology. The protesters claimed that diginets were unnatural. I kind of agree with them. Diginets hadn't been tested and the technology hadn't been verified. The protesters were right to demonstrate. Pygmalion was a suspicious technology. It was time to get to work. I really wish there were subtitles for the answering machine, at least, or most things in this game. Some of the accents on the people on this answering machine can be very tough to understand at times. But basically, it's just my, I guess, business answering machine. So people are coming to me for help and wanting to recruit me for jobs and such. Jeffrey Haggis. Hello? Someone was sensing me. It turned out to be a man called Jeffrey Haggis. I didn't know him. Nevertheless, I answered.
Please come to me. I'll tell you everything when you're here.
Oh, you're there. Please come see me. Blue Whales Interactive Tower, level 255, south entrance. I'll tell you everything later. Could you tell me some more information? I told you need to get here first. Hold on. Let's have a little respect for each other's time. I don't know anything about the case, and I'm not sure whether a certain amount... I get it. You want a down payment. I'm transferring it right now. I hope it's enough. He disconnected. Rude.
Hi, I hear you're the one to talk to when it comes to crimes in the digital world. I have a friend I think has been kidnapped.
I realized after a couple of answering machine messages that I think it's just like ongoing, so I'm not gonna have time to go through all of them in this one video, but maybe in another one we'll sit down and go through all of them. This kind of reminds me of like a cyberpunk kind of universe. Ooh, what's that? Jukebox, cool. My latest purchase. And I don't know if this is copyrighted or not, so I won't bother playing it. Alright, let's explore the rest of the house. TV. Warsaw City News, the latest in domestic news. Today is Monday, July 17th. My name is Gina Gord, and this is the news. Ken Zhu, the young star of Goodabadge, loses the game miserably. Zhu blames everything on glitches in the game. Of course he would. Could this be the end of the youngster's career? I bet you it is. Glitches. Pfft. It's like blaming it on lag. That's too small for me to read. Sorry. The control panel for the apartment's AI, a fine piece of software that didn't treat fridge contents as its first priority. You can also talk to it. Its name is Bliss. That's the default name, and I never bothered to change it. A logo with 2 whales appeared on that panel. Thank you for purchasing a product manufactured by Blue Whales Interactive, the leader in the field of AI, BWI, never alone. You are activating Bliss for the first time. To start, configure the software to your liking. Damn, something had reset my settings. Probably another failure in the tower or a surge upstairs. I had to reconfigure everything again. Yep. BWI have been developing AI modeled after the human psyche for quite some time. Even the holographic visualization looked like brains. Everything seemed fine, but it shouldn't have. If there was a surge or failure in the tower, it should have left a sign, but there was nothing. The software truly looked like I was activating it for the very first time. Made no sense. There was nothing in the system. Logs of previous activations and conversations would be in the cloud, provided they existed. Probably somewhere on the Blue Whales Interactive servers. Too high a bar for me. You had to be a real magician to access them. A holographic figure appeared in the air. Hi, Bliss. Hi. Wait, what do you mean? Don't you remember me? Why does everything break all the time nowadays? Yep, feel your pain there, buddy. Especially when it comes to, our AI. A virtual couch made by Surfer Industries. Not one of their newest models, but it was still reliable. At least I thought it was. A poet would call it a gateway to the sensory worlds. To me, it was just a tool of my trade. July 17th, 21:99, 3:30 p.m. My last session took. The couch showed an error message and a suggestion to restore default settings. Maybe Surfer Industry couches weren't as reliable as I thought. The couch reset to its default settings, which meant its logs were deleted. It was time to consider trading it in for a newer model. The couch reverting to its default settings was alarming. My health depended on it working. Someone needed to take a look at it. Fortunately, every couch had a sensor. Technical assistance required. It read, "Thank you for your report. We will get back to you within a few days." It was starting to fall apart. I needed to replace it. Damn it, such important gear. I couldn't afford it at the moment. I needed a few jobs first, or one big job that paid well. Fluid levels were low. I still had a few tanks left, but it's always good to have reserves. Done. The delivery service drone would be here in a few hours. How's that for service? Something's broken and they come in get there in a couple hours. Can't remember if there's anything else here to look at. Doesn't look like it. Oh, computer, that's right. My computer. It controlled the couch, communicated with the household appliances, let me send messages, and did everything else. It was a good piece of hardware. I optimized and upgraded it with a robust antivirus suite and the latest drivers. A Gamedec computer. A new case. I wondered if anything would surface on the net. Who was Jeffrey Haggis, the director of the programming department at Blue Whales Interactive? Wife Eleanor, son Frederick, Fredo to his friends. His assets are recorded in 8-figure amounts. Jeez. That means he gets paid a lot. That was all I could find. Blue Whales Interactive, or BWI, the leader in the field of AI, their flagship product. A little less known but still popular was the game Knight's Code, a clan battle game based on medieval Japan. They made luxury helmets, and, ladies and gentlemen, they could make human beings. Their Pygmalion upgraded AIs mimicked human psyches. It was time to catch up on some gossip. Spicy comments about new... I can't read that. In Paradise Beach. Other than that, nothing interesting. New experts in Paradise Beach? I think that's what that says. NPEX. I checked the dark web. An almost fatal accident in Happy Hunting Grounds. How gory. A creepy clown in Twisted and Perverted who harassed players about a virus outbreak. Odd, but not surprising. That was about it. I earned in several games, but was recently focused on one, Void Stars, still in development, even though it had already been released. It was supposed to be bigger than all previous space simulations, though that was hard to imagine. I'd already bought a few ships. I just couldn't help myself. They were damn expensive, but what the hell? I loved looking at my fleet. I like boats. What was more exciting than expanding one's fleet? That much hyped Vulture X sure was tempting. A fantastic exploration vessel with a medical bay and a bunch of other stuff. I'm just going to say that. Damn it, I couldn't afford this baby, given the state of my finances. Welcome to the Void. We know you want to play, and so do we. Unfortunately, we're carrying out a maintenance check. And Skywalk, a merchant vessel, as sold it was bulky. The Vulture X would really make this collection shine. Yeah, I'm sure it would. Sorry I didn't read all that, guys. I was clicking too fast through the dialogue there and couldn't keep up with it. A few emails from client side helped. I needed to reply to them. First message. Senator Stone was grateful for working out what his daughter was doing in Into the Dungeon 1337. Always reply kindly, especially to a senator. You don't know what they can do. I wrote that I was happy to hear from him and asked how his daughter was feeling. It's good to nurture relationships with clients. I got through the other emails quickly. Some were invitations to events, some were spam. I replied. I already had one contract, but it wouldn't hurt to check. Maybe there was more. Mr. Gamedec, come play Crying Guns with us. It's a lot of fun. We may not be able to pay you, but... That's definitely spam. A bunch of kids. I didn't want to deal with that. So the contract from IIGS was the best thing I could give my attention to. Yep, it was. Alright, anything else around here that we missed? Think that might have been all that we can interact with at this point. Like I said, I'll go through all the codexes and stuff in a separate video and try and read through all those. It's a lot of reading. But I don't mind it. Like I said, this game seems really cool to me. Well, alright guys, I'm gonna end this episode here. So thank you guys very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Really helps me out. And I think we're gonna have some fun with this game. This is the first story-driven game that I've played for quite some time. So I think it'll be fun. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.